Hi everyone, my name is Bianca Willis and welcome to my channel. So today I've decided to do a Gigi Hadid makeup tutorial that she wore to the VMAs because I bought this orange top and I was feeling it, I got inspired, and this is the look I've come up with. So if you're interested, then just keep on watching. So I'm just starting out with a light moisturizer as my base, and I'm just using the Clean and Clear moisturizer, the Essentials one, because it's really light and makeup goes on really easy over it. So I'm just going to rub that in my skin, let it chill for a second. And then I'm going to grab my beauty blender and I'm going to mix 2 foundations and a primer. And I'm going to use Too Fabulous and Flawless L'Oreal True Match. And then for my primer, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Lumi Magique base to get that really glowy effect that Gigi has, which I wish I had naturally, but I don't. So I'm just going to do 1 pump of that. Oh, and then I just kind of put the excess there. 1 pump of that, and then 1 pump of that. And then I'm just going to make a concoction in my hand and put it all in my face. So what I like to do with foundation is I just like to dab it on my face to get an even coverage and so that it doesn't all sink into my beauty blender, because girl knows we cannot have that. So once it's all dotted around my face, I'm going to grab my beauty blender, I swear it's clean, and then I'm going to dab it all over my face to get an even flawless coverage, just like Gigi has. So I got so inspired to do this look because I bought this orange top from Cook Eye and I was like, oh my god, I have to do a Gigi Hadid inspired look, like, duh. So once I all blend it all blends in with my neck and not my little white pale face. Because I have fake tan on because I want to look like Gigi. So I'm just kind of dabbing it into my hairline as well so I don't have a weird white thing going on. Okay, so once that is all blended in, I'm going to grab my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in shade 10 Light. I'm just gonna conceal my little under eye bags because Lord knows we don't get enough sleep. And then I'm just gonna cover all of my little pimples and a little around my nose and just kind of all over my face where I don't like myself. And I'm just gonna grab my beauty blender and dab it all in. Okay, so once that's all blended in nicely, I'm going to grab my setting powder, even though we don't really need to set that much, but just so that my under eye concealer doesn't crease and go gross, and so it stays on all night. So I'm just grabbing Australis AC on Tour, and I'm grabbing the yellow one in the middle. And I'm just really lightly dabbing, and I'm not sweeping, because otherwise you will move all of that concealer that you just put on. Girl, you don't want to be doing that again. So to set my whole face, I'm using the Face of Australia Loose Translucent Powder. And I'm just going to use a tiny little bit just to set my face because otherwise I kind of get like oily and weird. So I'm just going to kind of go all over my face. So after that, we're moving on to bronzer, which is my favourite part. And I'm using MAC Give Me Sun. Just look at it. It is so creamy and pigmented. I'm just kind of putting this on my cheekbones just to warm up my skin. So I was trying it on the MAC counter and I was like, oh, Lord knows, like this won't work with my skin tone unless I'm super fake tanned. Because it's orange, you know what I mean? Anyway, so I bought it anyway because I needed it. And I got it home and I put it on and I had fake tan on so it was okay. But I put it on and it's just the creamiest formula. It is like, it's not powdery, it's like it just melts into your skin. And it is such a nice colour as well. And the pigmentation, oh my god. So I'm not actually contouring, I'm just warming up my skin so that I get that Gigi Hadid glow kind of going because I don't have that naturally. So basically I'm just gonna take the whole pot and put it on my face because Gigi is so tan and I'm just not. I wish it looked like I was wearing a top right now, but I am. Okay, so once we're all warmed up with Give Me Sun, Bahama Mama by The Balm. And when I first got this, I didn't like it. I thought it looked a little bit muddy. And I still kind of do, but I only use a little bit. Carve out my cheekbones a little more. I'm just going to bring it up towards my temples. Now onto highlighting because we need that glow. So I'm going to use the NYX Roll-On Shimmer Ball, but it is so good. So I just kind of start like dab it on really lightly and then blend it out in a second. Do that to one side, then put some on my nose. Cupid's bow. I like to put some under my eyebrow. I'm just going to grab a Real Techniques setting brush to just buff that in a little bit more. Girl! Look at that, and we're going to put another highlighter on it. So I'm just going to pick up good old trusty Mary Luminizer by The Balm. So now I'm just going to pop a little bit of blush. So I'm just going to use NYX blush in the shade Terracotta on a Sigma F40 large contour brush. I'm just going to dab it really lightly and then pop it on my cheeks. Okay, so that is pretty much done for the face. Now we're going to move on to eyes. So I'm going to start off with MAC Soft Ochre for a base. And I'm just going to use a Zoeva Concealer Buffer Brush 142. I just dug a hole in my soft ochre. So I'm just going to grab a little bit because you only need the tiniest bit. And I'm just going to rub it all over my eye to cancel out all of my veins. And I'm just going to run it up to my brow bone. And to set my eyes so that my eyeshadows blend really easy, I'm just going to grab my Face of Australia loose translucent powder on a big fluffy brush and just sweep that all across my eye. Now I'm going to dig into my Makeup Geek Z palette and I'm going to grab the shade Peach Smoothie. So it's just like a really subtle orange. It's really nice and is really good for transition colour. So I'm just going to kind of sweep that in my crease and bring it up towards the brow bone a little bit. She didn't really have a like super dramatic eye. She just kind of had brown in the crease and a bit of shimmer, so that's all I'm going to do. This transition colour is honestly bomb. So after Peach Smoothie, I'm just picking up Creme Brulee with the same brush and I'm just going to do it closer to my crease just to deepen up the crease. And I'm just going to keep blending and blending and blending until it looks really nice and smooth. So now I'm picking up the shade Frappe and I'm just doing the exact same step as I did before but just deepening up the crease even more. I absolutely die for Makeup Geek eyeshadows. They are so pigmented and creamy. The best I've ever tried in my whole life. So I'm just going to keep blending and blending and blending and layering up the colour until I get the pigment that I want. So now I'm going to pick up Cocoa Bear, just a tiny little bit, and I'm using a Zoeva Luxe Pencil Brush 230 and I'm just going to really concentrate in the socket of my eye and like an outer V. So first of all I'm just going to place the colour and then I'm going to blend it out with the 227 Luxe Soft Definer. So I'm just kind of dragging it down to my lash line as well to give it a little bit of definition, and then I'm going back in with the same brush we used as our transition colours and just blending. So once we're done with the crease of our eye, I'm going to grab my Inglot Duraline and wet my Zoeva Luxe Smoky Shader brush just a little bit so that the pigment of the eyeshadows comes about a bit better. And I'm just going to use Babyface by Makeup Geek and I'm just going to pat that all over my eyelid for a base. So now on top of my eyelid, I'm just going to place this eyeshadow by Makeup Geek. I'll put the name in the description box because I have a little magnet on the back of it. I don't know what it's called, but I'm just putting more Duraline on my brush. Same brush, smoky shader, and then I'm just going to pack it all over the lid. Ooh. So for my lash line, I'm just going to grab a little bit of Cocoa Bear on a Zoeva smudger brush, and I'm just going to smudge it into my lash line so that when I put on lashes, they like blend together. I'm just going to keep adding colour so that it deepens up. So once we finish that, we're going to move on to our bottom lash line. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of Peach Smoothie on the Zoeva smudger brush and then use that as a transition colour for my under eye. And I'm just going to really quickly smudge it out. Then I'm going to grab a Frappe, put some of that on. And finally, a little bit of Cocoa Bear just on the outside just to deepen it up a little bit. So once our eyes are done, I'm just going to grab my eyelash curler and quickly we're going to curl my lashes. So once my lashes are curled, I'm going to grab some Maybelline the Colossal Smoky Eye. I'm going to grab and I'm just going to coat my lashes with that. So I'm just grabbing my Socialize lashes in the shade, in the style Butterfly, and I'm just going to apply them with some Revlon Precision Clear Glue. Okay, so it took me about like 2 hours to put those lashes on, but once we've got them on, I'm just going to chuck some mascara on my bottom lashes. And now I'm going to move on to my brows. So I'm grabbing my Zoeva Brow Line brush and e.l.f. Cosmetics Eyebrow Kit, but I only use the wax one because I don't like the powder. I'm just using this. I'm just going to fill my eyebrows. So once I filled in my brows, I'm going to grab my Maybelline Brow Drama Sculpting Brow Mascara in Transparent and just run that through my brows just so that they don't fly away. So now I'm just setting my face with NYX Dewy Skin Finish. So for my lips, I'm just grabbing some trusty old Purple Cream first. I'm just going to pop that all over my lips. And then I'm going to pick up my MAC Lip Liner in the shade Subculture. And I'm just going to outline my lips and then fill them in a bit and then kind of smudge it around. Because she didn't really have like a really pigmented lipstick on. So I'm just going to do this. So I'm just going to lightly fill them in and then run my lips together. And it'll kind of make like a lip gloss kind of situation. So this is the finished look that I have come up with. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope I taught you something. Give it a thumbs up and a subscribe if you liked it, and look out for more videos soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. what is this? It just looks like this. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, girl? Ooh, I like that. Hold on, my nose is so itchy right now. Oh my god. Eee! Out of any single thing in my life, like it gives me life. And it just looks like this. I'll just show you. Contour the bloody oath out of my chin. Like, oh. There we go, that's popping. We're popping, girl, we're popping. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window and the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost 1,000 times. So kind of hello. I swear I'm wearing a top. I am wearing a top. Okay, sweet. Sweet! I have to do something with my lips. Hold please.